Hello, and welcome back. Welcome back to episode 135 of Learn Finnish with me. Let's see how much we can learn today. We're going to try something different from the selko-uutiset. I'm going to try an actual, listening comprehension test. Puheen ymmärtäminen. Listening comprehension. Or I guess it's like speaking comprehension. But yeah, whatever. We call it listening comprehension. And it'll be fun. Or not. It'll probably be really boring. I mean, it's just like watching a third grader do their homework. I mean, is it that exciting? But you guys keep showing up to this, so I'm here. Good to see you guys, Poyu, JF, Lorelei. Yeah, good evening. Wait, you saw a movie by Kiyoshi Kurosawa called Cloud. Huh, no, I don't think I've heard of that. I know of Kurosawa as like a famous filmmaker from Japanese history. But I don't know, this is like maybe a descendant of Kiyoshi, is a descendant of the other, I forget the other Kurosawa's first name. But anyways, cool. And wait, 3.5 stars? Is that what you give it? And what's this? Lorelei, you yesterday you had some type of picnic with like new students or something in Swedish? What? And they call them bunnies or something? Oh yeah, esim means esimerkiksi, for example. But yeah, let's see. Maybe we'll just start off strong. We're just gonna dive right into this and see. It's saying like whatever. Gosh, I mean, I'm probably not going to translate this very well, but basically saying that you have like 10 minutes to do the multiple choice and true false tasks or questions. Anyways, so here we got the multiple choice questions. Press play, the play button, and then like listen to whatever the thing is. Listen to it twice before or without a break. Okay, listen to it twice without a break. Tauko. And then choose the correct vaihtoehto option, or the correct multiple choice option. All right, let's pause the background music and we can give this a try. Oh, it will play twice. Okay. So I don't have to press it twice. Are you ready? Okay, I gotta to lock in.
Kuuntele tehtävä.
20-vuotias Elina ja 19-vuotias Tuomas muuttivat vappuna ensimmäiseen omaan kotiinsa Vantaalle. Elina kertoo.
Ensimmäiset yöt me nukuttiin patioilla lattialla, kun ei vielä ollut mitään huonekaluja. Kun kämppä vapautui, niin oli pakko heti olla siellä yötä, kun oli niin upeata, että päästiin asumaan yhteen. Ei mulla kotonakaan mitään ongelmia ollut. Mun vanhemmat on ihan kivoja ja antaa mun aika paljon itse päättää mun elämästä. Mutta kuitenkin oli jo tarve päästä itsenäistymään ja pois äidin ruokapatojen ääreltä. Joo, no tää on vuokra-asunto, 2 huonetta ja keittiö, jotain 54. Vuokra on 2 tonnia kuussa. Me ollaan molemmat opiskelijoita, niin että raha on kyllä välillä tiukalla. Opintotuki ei oikein riitä, vaan välillä on pakko tehdä töitäkin, vaikka kyllä siitä vähän opiskelu kärsii.
20-vuotias Elina ja 19-vuotias Tuomas muuttivat vappuna ensimmäiseen omaan kotiinsa Vantaalle. Elina kertoo.
Ensimmäiset yöt me nukuttiin patioilla lattialla, kun ei vielä ollut mitään huonekaluja. Kun kämppä vapautui, niin oli pakko heti olla siellä yötä, kun oli niin upeata, että päästiin asumaan yhteen. Ei mulla kotonakaan mitään ongelmia ollut. Mun vanhemmat on ihan kivoja ja antaa mun aika paljon itse päättää mun elämästä. Mutta kuitenkin oli jo tarve päästä itsenäistymään ja pois äidin ruokapatojen ääreltä. Joo, no tää on vuokra-asunto, 2 huonetta ja keittiö, jotain 54. Vuokra on 2 tonnia kuussa. Me ollaan molemmat opiskelijoita, niin että raha on kyllä välillä tiukalla. Opintotuki ei oikein riitä, vaan välillä on pakko tehdä töitäkin, vaikka kyllä siitä vähän opiskelu kärsii.
Valitse oikea vaihtoehto.
Well, I feel like I understood maybe like 10 words. Okay, I'll tell you what I think was going on. All I could understand, if I understood something about food, and maybe it fell on the floor. I heard lattia. And then there was something about going to the grocery store. Maybe. And then was it like, were they in Vanta? I feel like I heard some at the beginning, the introductions, the guy said they were in Vanta. But that could have just been something else that I misheard. And doesn't seem relevant to anything else that was going on. Like, there was also something about being a student and maybe not having money. That's it. I think that's all that I understood. That was very fast. By the way, this is the basic level of, this is the easiest possible question that you can get in the Finnish language exam. Man, it's like Minecraft on hardcore mode. You know, you die, you're done. You don't get to respawn. That's how the Finnish language exam goes. You die, you're out. Yeah, I need more practice like this. Anyways, let's try and answer some of these questions to the best of my ability. All right. Elina ja Tuomas. They ovat yli 20-vuotiaita. They are over 20 years old. Aita. Why do I feel like that's a weird way of saying it? I feel like I've heard another. I would say like vuotias or something like that. 20-vuotias. I don't know what that aita is, but all right. Asuvat ensimmäistä kertaa yhdessä. They lived together one time, or for the first time. They are living together for the first time. I did not catch that in the text at all. And asuvat Vaasassa. Well, now I'm getting confused because I heard Vanta. But that's close to Vaasa. Not geographically, but the sound is kind of close. But I'm gonna go with my gut and say that it was Vanta and not Vaasa. I don't know about this living together thing. They were talking about the grocery store, so I don't know if that entered in at all. I'm just gonna guess that they're over 20 years old. I mean, because that's the only one that seems like maybe. Although I guess it's just as likely as B. I don't know. Actually, maybe I'll guess B. Because, like, this seems so random. I don't feel like they talked about their ages. Or was that in the introduction and I just missed it? Because here's what I'm thinking. If I heard like their ages, I would have recognized numbers, but I didn't hear any numbers like that. So I'm gonna guess B. And look, I'm just giving you my train of thought here. Oh, it's plural. Oh, that's okay. That's why vuotiaita is plural. The singular would be vuotiasta. Okay. Elina muutti pois kotoa, koska... Okay, I didn't get this from the text, but Elina is moving away from home because vanhempien kanssa oli ongelmia. Whatever, there was a problem with her parents. Hän ei pitänyt äidin ruoasta. Yeah, okay, it has to be this because it involves food. But are these trick questions? Are these trick questions? Probably. But she needs her mom's food. Or sorry, not needs. No, she doesn't like her mom's food. Hän halusi elää omaa elämäänsä. She wants to live her own life. Well, I genuinely have no idea. I heard ongelmi or ongelmia in the original text. I also heard ruoka in the original text. I did not hear any of this in the text. It seems really weird that you would want to leave home because you don't like your mom's cooking. That's such a weird thing. I feel like I would have heard more about that. I'm just going to say this, that she had problems with her parents, because that word was in the text and it makes more sense than this, like logically, but I don't know. The text could be totally random. So I'm going to guess that. And I didn't recognize any of this. She wants to live her own life. Like, why is she talking about food? Why was that? How is that even in the text? Oh man. And so Lorelai, I have to infer the answer from them. Man, these are way too. That's come on, give me some easy. You got to start me out small. All right, give me some easy multiple choice questions. Build my confidence. The Uki test organizers are insane. They just want to destroy you from the beginning. Elina ja Tuomas asuvat vuokra-asunnossa. How would this even be in here? It must be opiskelija asunnossa because they said they said opiskelija at some point. So I'm gonna guess that. Elina ja Tuomas sanovat, että he opiskelevat ja käyvät työssä. Vain opiskelevat. Käyvät vain töissä. I don't know. So it's like they are studying and they go to work. They are just studying, or they are just going to work. I don't remember any specification of their respective occupations. I have no idea. But I'm gonna hedge my bet that they do both. All right. Now one of them does one and the other does the whatever. Give me my answers. Boom, I got this right. Even though I don't know how. Asuvat ensimmäistä kertaa yhdessä. We got it. And then we got this one wrong. The correct answer for Elina is moving away from home because She wants to live her own life. Okay. Yeah. I didn't pick up on that. And the third one is that they live. I was more confident about this one because I'm like, come on, it has to be. They're students, right? No, they live in just a rental apartment. They don't live like in student housing. Also, I have no idea where this was specified. I feel like I understood some of the text, but the text didn't ask me any questions that would enable me to demonstrate my knowledge. That is a failure of the test, not the test taker, all right? That's just basic pedagogy, all right? If all your students are failing your exam, maybe you're the problem and not the students. Elina ja Tuomas sanovat, että he. Elina and Tuomas say that, and I got this one right, they are studying and working. Is that good enough? Is that good enough to get me an intermediate? This would be so much easier if it was in French. I remember doing French comprehension exams. And it's like, yeah, there were parts of it that were hard, but it felt like there was only like a sentence or two that was like, whoa, I have no idea what that was. This, the whole thing was hard. I didn't understand a single thing of it. And whatever I did get right was just from guessing. Because there's only, statistically, there's only 3 options. You're going to get, 33% right, even if you've you've never looked at Finnish in your life. But yeah, okay. So Lorelai, she said pois äidin nurkista. I don't know what nurkista means, but to get away from her mom's, I guess, something. No changing answers? Yeah. Not everyone can get student apartments. Yeah. Away from mom's corners. That's weird. Into own corner. Like a corner of like a boxing ring? I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand the corner analogy. But that's fine. Let's listen to it again, but maybe slower. Can I not listen to it again? Why did it disappear? Wow, what a great website. Okay. what a great learning tool, just yep, you want to review the stuff? Nope. Never mind. Okay, let's move on. I guess they want to simulate the actual exam so that you can't listen to it again while you're doing the answers or something. I don't know. All right, so this one we'll play twice. So what? The first whole and then in 3 parts. Okay, and then true and false. We at least get 50%. Let's do it.
Kuulet nyt tehtävän kokonaisuudessaan.
19-vuotias Emilia kirjoitti ylioppilaaksi viime keväänä. Nyt hän viettää välivuotta, käy töissä ja aikoo pyrkiä kauppakorkeakouluun opiskelemaan. Millainen sun tavallinen arkipäivä on, Emilia?
No mun päivät on hyvin erilaisia, koska mä käyn vuorotyössä. Mä olen töissä vaatemyyjänä JC:ssä. Useimmiten mulla on kuitenkin iltavuoro, eli mä menen 4. Silloin mä herään 10, syön, käyn suihkussa ja valmistaudun ihan rauhassa päivään. Töissä mä syön tauolla ja sitten illalla kotona. Mä tapaan kavereita, käyn kaupoissa ja urheilen. Mä käyn nukkumaan aina tosi myöhään, ilta 11:30 välillä.
Mitä sä harrastat?
No, mä luen kauppakorkeakoulun pääsykokeisiin ja sitten mä käyn 2 kertaa viikossa jumpassa ja 2 kertaa uimassa ja iltoja mä vietän ystävien kanssa. Palkkapäivän jälkeen mä shoppailen aktiivisesti seuraavat 2 viikkoa. Rahatilanteesta riippuen mä pyrin myös matkustamaan paljon. Mä rakastan matkustelua. Siitä mä en voisi luopua. On ihana tavata uusia ihmisiä. Mä oon aina tykännyt puhua kieliä ja se lämpö. Viimeksi mä olin Roomassa kaverin kanssa mun tädin luona.
Miten sulla riittää aikaa kaikkeen?
Mun työvuorot sanelevat mun aikataulun, mutta vapaatakin saa pyytää. Kaikki muu onkin joustavaa mun elämässä. Lukemaan ja urheilemaan voi mennä milloin vaan. Mä olen aika spontaani. Mä en halua suunnitella mun aikataulua paljon etukäteen. Ystävien kanssa sovitaan tapaamiset yleensä samana päivänä.
Niin.
Harvoin käy liian kiireiseksi. Jos ei tapahdu mitään, mä soitan jollekin tai vaikka siivoan. Mutta ihmiset tulevat mulle harrastusten edellä, joten aikaa järjestyy aina tarpeeksi ystäville ja perheelle. Mä asun vielä kotona, joten perhettäkin tulee nähtyä usein. Kun mä olen iltavuorossa, perhettä näkee tosin vähemmän.
Niinpä.
Kuulet nyt tehtävän 3 osassa. Osa 1. Kuuntele.
19-vuotias Emilia kirjoitti ylioppilaaksi viime keväänä. Nyt hän viettää välivuotta, käy töissä ja aikoo pyrkiä kauppakorkeakouluun opiskelemaan. Millainen sun tavallinen arkipäivä on, Emilia?
No mun päivät on hyvin erilaisia, koska mä käyn vuorotyössä. Mä olen töissä vaatemyyjänä JC:ssä. Useimmiten mulla on kuitenkin iltavuoro, eli mä menen 4. Silloin mä herään 10, syön, käyn suihkussa ja valmistaudun ihan rauhassa päivään. Töissä mä syön tauolla ja sitten illalla kotona. Mä tapaan kavereita, käyn kaupoissa ja urheilen. Mä käyn nukkumaan aina tosi myöhään, ilta 11 ja puolen yön välillä.
Vastaa kysymyksiin 1, 2 ja 3.
Oh, wait, I'm supposed to answer the questions now? Okay. That one seemed a bit easier than the previous one. I feel like there was more I could kind of understand, but I also feel like I still didn't understand hardly anything. I know that I don't know what the context of this interview is, like why one woman is questioning the other. Like, is it supposed to be like an interview? Because she asked her what, like, I think she talked about her daily schedule, like on a weekday. And then there was so much information of like, oh, she does this and this and this, and she eats, and then she goes shopping with friends, I think she said that's basically it. And then there was, I think the second question was about hobbies or something. I don't know. All right, well, here we go. Emilia opiskelee kauppakorkeakoulussa. I did hear this, but I was like, what the heck is a kauppakorkea? I didn't hear the koulu. I was actually thinking of like a shopping card, like kauppakortti. But then I heard this, so it's like a shop upper. What kind of? I've never heard of this type of. What is korkeakoulu? Like upper secondary education? Is that what that means? But since I'm just gonna guess, I mean, I heard kauppakorkea, so I'm gonna say true. She studies there. I don't know. Emilian työajat vaihtelevat. So Amelia's work times are variable, where they vary a lot. I'm gonna say true. I have no idea. Because I feel like she did at some point in the interview talk about having varied, but I thought it was like when she has like varied interests or something. I don't know. Emilia on töissä kaupassa. She's employed in a store. I missed that, but we're just gonna say true. Like, why not? Okay, it's a business school interview. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and korkeakoulu is both tracks after high school. All right, let's continue. It's a long pause. Am I supposed to answer everything within this given pause? Like they give you 30 seconds to answer the questions?
Osa 2.
Oh, here we go.
Kuuntele.
Mitä sä harrastat?
No, mä luen kauppakorkeakoulun pääsykokeisiin ja sitten mä käyn 2 kertaa viikossa jumpassa ja 2 kertaa uimassa. Ja iltoja mä vietän ystävien kanssa. Palkkapäivän jälkeen mä shoppailen aktiivisesti seuraavat 2 viikkoa. Rahatilanteesta riippuen mä pyrin myös matkustamaan paljon. Mä rakastan matkustelua. Siitä mä en vois luopua. On ihana tavata uusia ihmisiä. Mä oon aina tykännyt puhua kieliä ja se lämpö. Viimeksi mä olin Roomassa kaverin kanssa mun tädin luona.
Vastaa kysymyksiin 4 ja 5.
Okay. Was it like, did she ask about her hobbies, harrasta? And she basically was saying she goes swimming and shopping. She loves shopping. And there was, I can't remember if there was something else in there I recognized, but it was mostly just confusion. All right. Emilia pitää urheilusta. Emilia likes sports. I mean, she likes swimming, but does that mean she likes sports? I'll say yeah, because I mean, swimming is a sport. I don't know. Emilia yrittää vähentää matkustelua. Emilia is trying to lessen her shopping, her spending. I did not hear her say that. If anything, she said she loved shopping. So why would she lessen it? I didn't get the sense that it was a problem, that she was, spending beyond her means. So I'm going to say väärin. It's the first väärin that I'm giving. I'm sure I'm also incorrect. And it turns out, oh, actually, she did say it somewhere, or it was implied. Emilia suunnittelee vapaa-aikansa tarkasti. Emilia, does this mean like she's planning? I don't know, tarkasti. I forget what that means, but something in her free time. She's planning something in her free time? Sure. I mean, yeah, we all are, right? Ihmiset ovat Emilialle tärkeämpiä kuin harrastukset. What? It's like people are to Emilia important as hobbies. Harrastukset. I didn't catch her saying that, but it seems logical. Like she did say she would go shopping with her friends, right? So it seems like family, or not family, but people are important to her. All right, how many more questions? Only one more? Okay, last one. Let's hear it.
Osa 3. Kuuntele.
Miten sulla riittää aikaa kaikkeen?
Mun työvuorot sanelevat mun aikataulun, mutta vapaatakin saa pyytää. Kaikki muu onkin joustavaa mun elämässä. Lukemaan ja urheilemaan voi mennä milloin vaan. Mä olen aika spontaani. Mä en halua suunnitella mun aikataulua paljon etukäteen. Ystävien kanssa sovitaan tapaamiset yleensä samana päivänä.
Niin.
Harvoin käy liian kiireiseksi. Jos ei tapahdu mitään, mä soitan jollekin tai vaikka siivoan. Mutta ihmiset tulevat mulle harrastusten edellä, joten aikaa järjestyy aina tarpeeksi ystäville ja perheelle. Mä asun vielä kotona, joten perhettäkin tulee nähtyä usein. Kun mä olen iltavuorossa, perhettä näkee tosin vähemmän.
Niinpä.
Vastaa kysymyksiin 6, 7 ja 8.
Wait, what? Was I only supposed to answer 3 and or question 4 and 5 on the previous one? Because I swear he said answer questions 4 to 7. But I guess I messed up. I didn't hear correctly. But anyways, well, she answered some stuff about this. But honestly, I still didn't understand to be able to change any of my answers. But Emilia asuu ystävänsä kanssa. She lives with her friend. I did not hear that at all. But, I mean, she seems like the kind of person who would live with her friend. You know, she seems quite social. She likes going shopping with her friends. Boom. And did we answer? I think we did. Let's see. How do we do? Hello? That's a long time to load. Wow. Did we crash the server? Is it? I don't know. I don't know what's going on in the back end. Maybe they have a DDoS attack over at whatever, Jyväskylä University. Is that what this is? Yeah. Well, I guess we won't get to see our answers. People are like, oh, there's so many opportunities for you to learn Finnish. Well, you try, and then this stuff happens. You know, there aren't. There aren't. You know, there's so many resources out there. Yeah, they're all broken. Not even the University of Jyväskylä can get their website to work properly. Like, what the heck? You know, it's like, I'm not asking for a browser to like run a complex algorithm. Like, literally, what is going on? Anyways, all right. Well, you know what? Honestly, I don't think even if I saw the answers, it would help me. Look, I'm not hopeless, but I recognize where I am, okay? I'm like running without any feet. But yeah. My answers were so excellent, they crashed the service. Thank you, JF. That's right. The very specific order that I gave was like a passcode that crashed their system. It was like a SQL injection into the server. I deleted their database. And now the Finnish police are going to come arrest me. Here we go. Well, let's do the last one. Why not? Good. It's good practice. Actually, here, you know what? I'm going to refresh the page just to see, because yeah, it reset all of them. Just out of curiosity, let's try it now. I'm just going to put them all like this, all true, because I don't want to go through the effort. Let's see if it works now. Because the first question worked. Yeah, I think it is bugged. Oh well. I'm sure the person who put this website together was like rushed and underpaid. And right, they were just like just doing the best they could. They're like me, okay? They're like me with Finnish. You know. So I'm trying to think generously here, all right? But here we go. Listen to this, whatever. What is, I don't, viestin. Does that mean like a message? It's like listen to, is it like the answering machine message? I think that's what this is. Listen to it twice without breaks. And then, yeah. Or, I'm getting words mixed up. Kuulet and kuuntele. Kuuntele is listen. Kuulet, I don't know what it means now that I see kuuntele. Does this mean something else besides listen? But anyways, listen and respond to the questions. What is this? Matkustaa and matkustella is not to shop. What does it mean then? Oh, to travel. That means to travel. Then what's the word I was thinking for shopping? Maksa. Kuulla is to hear. So hear, what's the difference between hearing and listening? It sounds weird in English to translate it as hear, but I suppose. Yeah, the Jyväskylä University computers are from 1863. That's why. Well, oh well. I mean, it's a free service they put up here to practice. So it's at least it's nice to have. The audio is really good. Though I will say, honestly, that kind of annoyed me. The interview woman annoyed me. The way she was asking the questions was so like, I don't know, is it called vocal fry, where it's like, she like couldn't even talk. She couldn't even use her voice for some of the words. Like she was just so bored and tired of talking. That's how it sounds to me, at least. I'm sure that for Finnish people it's whatever, but like the trailing at the end of a sentence, like the voice kind of trails out, and it's like she started breathing in at the end of a sentence before she finished saying whatever. I'm like, oh my gosh, can't deal with that. Yeah, hearing is more passive. Yeah, normal people are boring. That's me.
Kuuntele tehtävä.
All right, let's do it.
Tampereen teatterikesän lipputoimisto on auki maanantaista perjantaihin kello 11–17. Voitte tilata lippuja myös lippupisteen myyntipalvelusta puhelinnumerosta 020 123 456. Palvelu on avoinna arkisin kello 8–21. Puhelun hinta on 1,50 €.
My God,
Tampereen
speak slower.
teatterikesän lipputoimisto on auki maanantaista perjantaihin kello 11–17. Voitte tilata lippuja myös lippupisteen myyntipalvelusta puhelinnumerosta 020 123 456. Palvelu on avoinna arkisin kello 8–21. Puhelun hinta on 1,50 €.
Vastaa kysymyksiin.
She was talking so fast. I just heard numbers, but I didn't understand any of it. She was talking about like the ticket office and the opening hours. I think it was open till like 17 o'clock. And then there was a bunch of other stuff that she said. Like, I'm actually getting angry that she talked so fast. Like, I'm angry because if it was a little slower, I would have understood some of it. And, to my credit, after I ran the marathon on Saturday and I took the bus back home, an old lady came up and started talking to me. And we were talking in sort of Finnish and English. And I understood what she was saying to me in Finnish. And obviously she was speaking kind of extra careful so that I would understand. But I had a real life conversation with a lady. The reason she started talking to me was so Finnish. because I was sitting at the bus stop because my legs were completely destroyed. I was just sitting there, and she came up to me and she asked about a can that had rolled and touched my shoe. And it was a long drink can, you know, an alcohol can. And then she assumed that it was mine and that well, okay, it wasn't entirely clear if she was accusing me of littering because the can was like kind of just rolling on the ground. She thought maybe I was just going to leave it. It seemed like that's what she was doing because she was like, she started lecturing me about aluminum. And she was like, aluminum comes from Norway. And we cannot afford to pay Norway for aluminum. So we need to recycle the aluminum and because we can use it in all sorts of other things. And I'm like, what the I'm just sitting here. I'm like dying. I'm like literally half dead after my marathon. I'm just trying to explain to her. I'm like, I didn't even notice it was there until she pointed it out. But then it felt like she thought maybe I was lying. Like she thought that maybe because she caught me that I was trying to lie, but I wasn't lying. I didn't know that it was there until she pointed it out, and it was right at my foot. And I was like, oh shoot, yeah. And I was like, yeah, you can take it. I'm like, I don't, because there are a lot of people who recycle it, right? But anyways, I never figured out if she actually thought I was lying or not, because then we just started talking about random stuff, and and we had a little conversation. I don't know, but yeah. And I waved to her when I got off the bus at my stop because she was a bit further along. So I was actually really, despite it starting off in like the most awkward way, it turned out she turned out to be really nice. Not even talking fast, Lorelai. The phone number sounds like oops, cock, sneaks, knocks. That's a good yeah, that's a good impersonation. Yeah, don't call into phone services. Anyways, milloin toimisto on avoinna? When is the office open? Well, you know what? 17. Well, it closes at 17. I'm just gonna guess from 9 to 17. A 9 to 5. There you go. Mitä numerosta voi tilata? What number can be, or can you, I mean, does that mean to dial or to call? Tilata? I forget what tilata means. I know I've seen that word before. I didn't get the number, but it was like 04 something 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 something. All right, there you go. I'm not even gonna make up numbers. It doesn't matter. Kuinka paljon soitto lippupisteeseen maksaa? How much does a ticket cost? Oh, it was something with a 1 at the end. I'm gonna guess it was 21 euros. I heard a 1, but I didn't catch what came before it. So let's see. Oh, how much you want to bet it's not gonna work? Oh, there we go. Oh, it's open from 11 to 17. Yeah. What number? What? The tickets. Oh, does this mean like what can be purchased from the number? Not what number. I guess that would make sense because this is a different case ending. Numerosta. The STA is different from mita. So it would have to be like mistä numerosta, not mitä numerosta. Mitä numeroa. But anyways, buying tickets to the theater. Yeah. She also said the days before the time. And yeah, what can one order from the number? Yeah. And tilata means to order. 21 euros is expensive. What? Wait. Who goes to the theater for €1.50? How old is this recording? Are you gonna go see like a 5-minute skit? You know, what is that? you can't even buy a Dr. Pepper with €1.50. You know, why would they be selling tickets to like a production for €1.50? Oh, does it say how much does it cost to call the ticket office? Wait, what? Does this mean they charge you if you purchase the ticket, or they charge you if you just call the office? Like you dial that number, boom, €1.50 on your phone account. Is that how it works? Because that's brutal. What if you're just calling to find out the times, to find out what's, you know? Because typically, isn't it just like standard rates apply? Like, why would they charge you for calling the ticket office? Well, yeah, you don't call a business for free, but that's because you pay for your own phone bill, right? I'm just saying, at least in America, you would never pay extra to call the business unless it was like a really special situation. Like you have to pay your own phone bill, and they might keep you on hold forever so that you end up paying a lot. But why would the business charge you for calling? Is that a normal thing in Finland? I have never heard of that. I've never seen a business advertise any sort of product or service where you would have to call and pay extra for it, or that if you did call, you would have to pay extra. You guys in chat seem to totally understand and accept this as normal, and I'm so confused. Like, I guess have I not been living in Finland all these years? I mean, I don't really call businesses. I would just pay for it online or in person. But yeah. Oh well. You might pay X euros plus PVM or whatever it is. Paikallisverkkomaksu. Okay, I still don't understand, Laurel. I'm like, I don't even know what PVM is. And oh. So one thing I would really like about this exam, I mean, first of all, if the web page would actually work, would be for it to show you the actual text. You know? Like if I could actually just play if I could see the actual transcript of it, that would be really helpful for studying. Because I did this, but I don't feel like I've improved at all. Because there's nothing here that's giving me feedback. It just tells me the answers if I got them right or wrong. But I get it. Like, this isn't intended to be a learning resource so much as it is just, I don't know, a sample test. Lorelai, that's not how listening comprehension works. Well, how is it supposed to work, Lorelai? You just listen and you never learn, and if you don't understand it, then you can't review. You know what? What are you talking about? Of course, you have to like be able to review the text, and that there's different modalities for learning, right? Like if I'm learning something, that doesn't mean I can't look at the text after I've listened to it, right? I don't know. I'm trying my best here to learn, that's all. It's what we do in English and other languages. I don't know. I don't know what you mean. I feel like you can I don't know if we're on talking about the same point. But yeah, so that was, I mean, it was good to have the recordings. Like that I appreciate. Because otherwise I would just be using the Google Translate voice. Yeah. And I do have another book I've started this morning. I was reading a bit. Hold on, let me show you. Ykiä kohti, which I think translates to like towards the Uki exam, right? And this has a lot of good, I got this from the library. It has a lot of good texts, but there's no audio. The library doesn't have like a CD for this. And I looked on the website and it was like over 70 euros to get the audio. Like, look, I'm not that desperate for a few audio recordings. Like, geez. But yeah. Just don't start a Finnish language call center business, 27. It was not in my cards to do that, you know, honestly. I think working at a call center would just be one of the hardest jobs. Yeah, that would be so tough in whatever language, you know. I can't imagine. But yeah, I got this. This book has a lot of good texts in it that I want to keep practicing. Because there's like, I like that it's structured kind of around the topics. Like there's like 9 chapters that follow the 9 sort of topic categories. Here, I'll read to you the topic categories and translate them for you. We've got chapter 1, which is Minä ja taustani, which is like, wait, I forget what taustani means, but it's sort of like me and my life or something like that. Koti ja asuminen, that means home and living. Kauppa ja palvelut means like shopping and services. Kulttuuri, or kulttuuri, culture. Matkustaminen, travel. Terveys ja hyvinvointi, health and well-being. Työ, work. Ympäristö, environment. And yhteiskunta, society. There you go. Hyvää lukijaa. But yeah. I think it was good practice. I'll put my music back on. And yeah, I just need to do more tasks like this, because I do want to take this exam. I know I've said that before, and it is definitely on my mind. I don't think I'll be able to take it this year. I feel like I wouldn't be prepared based on my performance now. Like I still need a lot of practice, and I can only practice for so much each day. But maybe I was looking in January, there is an exam I could sign up for at the end of January. Or it's like January or March. Because like I do want to do this eventually because I would like to get citizenship. But they're also, yeah, my residence permit situation is kind of screwed up right now, where I have to renew my residence permit, and next year they're changing the rules for the permanent residence permit. And I've been trying to talk with Migri. I've like contacted them, but they are very good at ignoring everything you ask in the email and giving the most unhelpful reply. Like you can write an email with questions and you can number the questions and be like 1, 2, these are my 2 questions, and they will just ignore those questions and give you the dumbest response. And you're like, did you not read the email? Like, are you just choosing not to respond to the question? Like, you can, it's also like, isn't it just, you could just be polite and tell me you can't answer it, you know, but they don't even do that. And they call themselves customer service representatives. Like, I do not feel served. Nor am I really a customer here, all right? I just let me, anyways, I kind of have a complex situation, so I'm trying to get answers from them about how they categorize things. And everything that happens at the immigration office is a black box of unaccountability. Like, whatever they decide, it doesn't matter. Like, there's no, like, it's not like there's I don't know, any real legal accountability for how they make decisions. They can just, on a whim, decide, oh, this is good or this isn't good. And there's no, like, I don't know, there's no definitions, like, legally for what constitutes certain criteria, you know, or how you go about deciding certain things. And I need to know that in order, like, before I apply, because it could affect what permit I choose or, like, how I apply. It's really stupid. And I feel like I might lose my residence permit over something like this. So it's frustrating. But we'll see. If I do keep my permit, then that'll be great. I'll continue living here. But if I don't, well, that would really suck. And honestly, I think I'd probably stop making these YouTube videos. I would just give up. So yeah, I'm not feeling so great about that. But that's life, I guess. I'm just in a really difficult period of life. You know, like I was thinking about that happiness index, and I'm like, who are all these Finnish people answering like 7, 8, or 9? Like, I'm a 1. Like, honestly, I'm a 1. I'm not a 0 because I can imagine it being worse. But I'm like at a 1 right now in terms of how happy I am with my life. And it's been really tough. And I just want to get past what I'm going through. But there's only so much you can do. And having the immigration stuff hanging over my head is just like, not cool, man. Not cool. But whatever. Yeah, listening Finnish is hard, but your reading comprehension has become pretty good lately, you think. Oh, thanks for saying that, Polyu. You struggle only if there are many words you don't know. That's pretty logical, right? The more words you know, the easier it is. Exactly. Lorelai, you're having similar problems with Kella. I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. I know I've heard a lot of people have problems with Kella. But yeah. I should watch George Carlin's customer service stand-up. Maybe that'll make me feel better. Yeah, it was a good job. Yeah, I mean, you know, doing something is better than nothing. So at least you can't, what is it? You can't judge yourself too harshly when you're learning. You just gotta keep a positive attitude and trust that you will get better. So that's what I'm trying to do. That's the only way to improve, right? Yeah, how content with life. Yeah, it's been really tough. But But actually, on a positive note, I didn't say that. I had mentioned I ran a marathon on Saturday, but actually the marathon went really well. And I would say I was 90% successful, meaning I ran a new personal best time. I did not run my actual goal. My goal was to run a 3-hour marathon. And I went out at a 3-hour marathon pace. That's a 4:15 minute per kilometer pace, or a 6:50 mile. And I was running with the pacer. Or in Finnish, you call them a hare. Is that, you call them Janis? I feel like I read that somewhere. It was like Janis. Or maybe another word that's similar to that. I don't know. I felt really good. I got to the 10 kilometer mark, which is like a quarter of a marathon. And I was like, I was noticing my legs were kind of tired. And I was like thinking that, yeah, I'm probably going too fast. But this was my goal and this was my plan. And I did all the training, and I've been using these like predictors that tell you kind of like what you can sort of expect to run. And the predictor that I was using said 3 hours, 3 minutes, and 30 seconds. And so I was like, strategically, I should have run at that pace. But also strategically, it would be much harder to run that pace on my own versus running a 3-hour pace with a pacer. Because like that was also so nice that I had a pacing group where there were people running the pace and keeping track, and I didn't have to check my phone. Also, I've noticed on marathons, my GPS on my phone is really bad. And the phone always thinks I've run way more than the actual distance, like over half a kilometer more. By the end of the marathon, it says I've run more than half a kilometer beyond the actual distance. So my timing is all messed up. It's like I can't really rely on the apps. Anyways, I went out a little too fast. I got to the halfway point and I was like, yeah, this is kind of tough. I don't think I'll be able to hold on, but at least I'm going to hold on till 30 kilometers. And because you never know, maybe something will click and I will be able to finish, and I will be stronger than I think. And I made it past 30. I think I got to like 31, and that's when I sort of hit a wall. And there's no amount of mental, strength that can force your legs to move faster when they are full of lactic acid. You know, it's just like, and at that point I remember hitting like 34 kilometers. I saw the sign for 34, and I was thinking to myself before seeing the sign, I was like, oh, I feel like we must be around 38. And I saw 34 and I was like, oh crap. I was like, this is going to be tough. And so I did slow down, but not by too much. I think, I slowed down to maybe like a 4:40 on average, minute per kilometer. I don't know what was that in? I get so confused with the conversions, but that's somewhere around like a 7:40 pace, mile pace. And anyways, all of that doesn't really matter. I finished in 3 hours and 4 minutes and 3 seconds. So despite slowing down at the end, I didn't crash. I was so afraid that my legs would cramp up, because I've had that happen in a marathon before, or in a couple marathons actually, where I went out way too fast. And then at the end you cramp up, and it's the worst way to finish a marathon because you feel like a failure. You feel like you didn't run the marathon. I mean, even if you finished like kind of walking, jogging, like it sucks. So I avoided catastrophe because I trained really well. This was also the most I've ever trained for a marathon, which I'm actually really proud of. So yeah, I got to 3 hours and 4 minutes and 3 seconds, a personal best by almost 2 minutes. From like 2 or 3 years ago, I ran my PB. So a new PB, and there's another marathon in October I might run. So I could continue training and maybe have enough time through September to train and maybe achieve that sub 3 hour marathon. I don't know. That's been like a goal I've had for so long, but it's so insanely difficult. It's so difficult. But like, at least for a guy, getting like a 3:30 marathon isn't that hard if you just run. Like, if you just go and like run every day, like a 10 kilometer, you know, maybe a bit more than that, and then do 20 kilometers on the weekend, you know, and you're probably going to be able to do a 3:30. But then to do a 3 hour marathon, it's like you got to be doing like a lot more. And I can't imagine those guys that are running like almost a 2 hour marathon. You know, the guys from Kenya and Ethiopia, those dudes are like, they are gods sent to earth for the purpose of running, for displaying their angelic gifts of running. So yeah. Yanis. Okay, I was right. That was the word they used, the hair. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense to say that. I think I saw that because I was reading the web page in Finnish. Like, I was looking at the page in Finnish before translating it to English. And I saw Yanis, and I was like, oh, wait, is that the pacer? But yeah, I did have that feeling when I got to 30 kilometers and I saw that the pacing group was pulling ahead, and I just realized that there's no way I could keep up with them without destroying my legs and crashing at the end. That was when I realized I have to slow down. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad. Because then at the very end of the race, I got that adrenaline boost. I saw the finish line and I finished really strong. That was a good feeling. It was really fun. And it was perfect weather on Saturday. It was like, it was perfect, like what, 10 or 12 degrees to start the race, and we finished at 16 degrees Celsius, by the way. Like, obviously Celsius, right? So that's just like, it's nice and cool so that you don't sweat too much, you're not overheating, you just kind of cruise at such a comfortable pace. It wasn't too windy. And in my group, there was a guy who was running barefoot. I was like, this Chad, this Sigma male is just casually running a 3 hour marathon barefoot. I was like, I've trained so hard for this. I can't even imagine doing it without like running shoes that give me assistance, you know? And this dude is just barefoot. I'm also thinking like all the rocks and stuff he's stepping on, like, hi. That's crazy. Well, to be fair, he didn't actually finish ahead of me. He kind of fell off the pace quite a bit at the end. I think he finished around like a 3:12. But I don't think it was because of his feet. I think he burned out. But I was really impressed. Like, this dude is running barefoot. That's crazy. Yeah. Yay for listening to your body. That's the crazy thing about the mental aspect of marathon running. It's not actually about pushing yourself. It's about like actually strategically allocating resources. It's like a video game, and a real-time strategy video game, you know, and you have to like, because like you can't, what is it, Jedi mind trick yourself into running faster if your underlying fitness is not there. Right? It's like Age of Empires. You can't produce units if you don't have the economy to support those units, you know? You gotta, yeah. And the thing that's crazy about it is like, the marathon is such a long distance, and it takes so much effort to run at like your peak performance that you don't actually train, you don't actually you do practice marathons in your training, or at least not at the marathon pace that you would be pushing yourself at. So it can be very tricky to know like how to assess how you feel. So yeah, I mean, I knew I was running a little too fast, but I also knew that I had to go for it because there was like a 5% chance or less that I could have held on if the fitness was there, but it turned out the fitness wasn't really there. And I just got to keep training. But I'm really glad that at least, I know I'm rambling here. I'm going to end the stream here in a few minutes, but I don't know what I was saying. I said I had been dealing with injuries the previous year. Like all of last summer and through winter, it was really hard for me to run much because I would get soreness in my Achilles tendons. But I started training again in June, or was it in May, end of May, and I was very careful, and I didn't trigger any new pain, and so I'm really happy I'm able to run pretty much pain-free right now. So that's been a huge blessing, actually. And I get to pursue this dream of running a sub 3-hour marathon. And then the best part is after the marathon, I picked up my bag and from the bag drop, and I went to a bench, and I was just going through my bag, I don't know, getting stuff out and putting stuff away. And there was a guy sitting on the bench. And the guy he asked me how the marathon went. I was like, oh, it was really good. I got a new personal best. I was like, how about you? And he was like, I didn't have a good marathon. I was like, oh no, what happened? And then he tells me that he was planning to run a 2-hour, 45-minute marathon. But he fell off the pace. He cramped up and he ran a 2:54 or something like that. Yeah. And he was disappointed. And I'm listening to this thinking, if I would be over the moon if I ran a 2:54 marathon. This guy, he was, in much better training shape, I guess. But I understand it. Like, I know that feeling of training and then something happens and you don't achieve your goal, and not just you barely miss your goal, but you totally crash. And he missed his goal by by almost 10 minutes. So yeah, that's disappointing, but also kind of like, yeah, different. We're in different leagues. He's in that 2:45 is so fast. You literally get free entry to the marathon if you're capable. You're considered elite at that point for the Helsinki marathon, at least. They're just like, yeah, we won't even charge you. It's our privilege to welcome you to the marathon. You are so fast. I don't know. Maybe one day. Do you guys think I will run a 2:45 marathon before I learn to speak Finnish at an intermediate level? I'll leave that. You guys, I don't know. Or maybe neither. Neither is also an option. But yeah. Finnish is also a marathon. It's true. And I've improved in both exercise and Finnish. Yeah, that's something I've been thinking about like, I do need to improve my Finnish. And it is like running, where you only get better if you do it regularly, consistently. And also doing it like without too much intensity. Like in marathon training, 80% of your running is at easy intensity. So that's kind of how I need to practice with Finnish. Just spending time in the language, listening to it without doing this kind of nonsense. Like I'm happy to do this on stream with you guys, but also like, I don't want, if all of my practice Finnish, every time I practice Finnish, it is like a pain. And I'm on a website where it's asking me trick questions that require me to infer knowledge. It's just like, it's not fun, and language should be fun, right? Or at least learning happens best when it's fun. So I got to find ways to make it fun, right? Of course, you still have to do the work occasionally, you know, and practice the hard stuff. But yeah, that's something I'm trying to make more time for, or at least be more disciplined about making time for. I really struggle with that. Yeah. Yeah, you got to do different difficulties. Yeah, like in marathon training. Yeah. But yeah, all right. Well, I'm gonna wrap up the stream here. Thank you guys for joining. If you enjoy this, hit like, subscribe, consider becoming a YouTube channel member if you want some emojis or badges, and or join my Patreon. Really appreciate that. And yeah, Tyler running away from immigration enforcement officials. That's what they want, though. They want me to leave. They'd be happy if I ran away. Then they wouldn't have to deal with me. Oh, well. But yeah, thank you guys. 27, Lorelei, Poyu, I see you guys. Thanks for joining the stream, and all my lurkers in chat. I appreciate you all as well. Thanks for joining this long Finnish learning journey. Hope you guys have a good rest of your week, and I will be back next week, but also before then, on Thursday, I will be doing my Stardew Valley gaming stream. If you want to role play as a granny in Stardew Valley, you can join me for that. I'll say this: it's a lot more fun than learning Finnish. Let's just say I enjoy those streams a heck of a lot more. Maybe my calling in life is to be a Stardew Valley content creator, not a Finland language learner. All right, like yeah. Hey, we didn't even have a Tolkien rant, Poyu. See, look, you guys have so much to be thankful for, but also so much to look forward to in the next stream when I got to do double duty. All right. Do you ever have a teacher who was like that, where they were like, oh, we didn't get this done today, so we're just going to have to do double tomorrow or next time? And you're like, no, what? I feel like us not getting it done today was your fault as a teacher, not our fault. Now we have to be punished in the next lesson? You know, that's not good for our learning. Yeah. Yeah, this is why short streams. Hey, yeah, the short streams also keep me more on task, so we don't get as off topic with the Tolkien stuff. Though occasionally I do reserve the right to go down a Tolkien rant. Yeah, 27 is like, be quiet, Poyu. Don't remind him, because then I'll be like, oh, you know, I read something, and then I go off. I go off about Tales of the Shire again. God, I'm literally the most annoying person that's ever lived. So you're welcome. All right, guys, have a good rest of your week, and hope to see you in the next live stream. Goodbye.